now I have fun section wherein there are some preconceived notions in our mind when it comes to cruise, because primarily we have seen them in movies, right? As you mentioned, we have seen in Titanic or Wolf of Wall Street, right? I will ask you some statements. You just have to give your say on those, right? And these are all
Okay,
pertaining to
sure.
cruise experiences, right? So myth or fact. So you mentioned if it is either a myth or a fact, what you say, and your reasoning behind it. This is your experience.
Okay.
So the cruises are only for old and rich people.
No, that's a myth. Like I mentioned, I'm neither of those, fortunately, unfortunately, but no. You can still plan 50,000, 1 lakh for a couple for a 4 days vacation, and as a luxurious cruise is worth, and not only
Yeah.
for rich.
Second one, you will get seasick the whole time on the cruise.
Biggest myth, because you don't even feel the cruise is moving. The moment the
Correct.
cruise starts at 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m., for once you will feel the vibrations because the engines fire up. After
Okay.
that, you don't feel the movement at all. So there is no question, because my wife also has a similar issue sometimes, but
Yeah.
there is no absolutely wrong.
You will have to dress up every night for dinner as per any theme party.
Um, Not entirely a myth or not entirely fact. Most of the time, I would say myth, because the main dining hall, which I mentioned about,
Yeah.
has a dressing code. Dressing code in the sense you can't go in half pant shorts or something like
Yeah.
many 5-star hotels have, because it's
Yeah.
like a reputed exquisite dining hall. So
Yeah.
you have to dress well, like trousers, jeans or something for
Yeah.
men, and for women a specific thing. Apart from that, no.
Okay. Fourth one, there is no internet on the cruise.
There is a paid option available on the cruise. Also, the app works without any internet package. You don't need to purchase. And on the app, you can chat with your fellow travelers. Suppose you're traveling in a group of 5 people, you can create a group on their app, like a WhatsApp group, and then you can chat freely without any charges. But if you have to use internet like WhatsApp or YouTube or something, then there are packages which you have to purchase.
All food on the cruise is included and unlimited.
Fact.
Yeah. So you,
Yes,
as per your
because
experience,
as I
yeah.
mentioned, yeah, it's a totally unlimited thing, which you will understand for what is the meaning of unlimited.
Cruises are way too expensive.
Myth, as I mentioned again,
Yeah.
because this is something people who are doing international trips regularly can do it. And like I mentioned in your first question, I am unfortunately not rich. So, yeah.
The decks on the cruise are always too crowded.
Myth, no. You for, rather on the contrary, I found the decks most of the times were vacant because people are scattered everywhere
Yeah.
doing all sort of activities.
Cruises aren't safe.
Totally biggest myth, because they have a lot of safety precautions which they have been taking. There are very highly safe lifeboats, life jackets, and everything, and the electronic communication system on the cruises are nowadays are the most advanced. Plus, Royal Caribbean is one of the most biggest cruise liner in the world, American company, and they're following all highest safety standards.
And while this last one might not be exactly relevant, but I guess you have still had some other cruise experiences also. So the last one on this is all cruise experiences are the same.
No, myth again, because it depends on the scale of the cruise. So now, if I go to some other big cruise, bigger than Spectrum of Seas,
Yeah.
Royal Caribbeans or any other cruise liners, the experience can be different because there are cruise, Prathamesh, which have water parks. Okay, now our cruise didn't have. We had just
Yeah.
swimming pools, surfer,
Yeah.
but Royal Caribbean has different cruises like Anthem of the Seas, then Allure of the Seas. Allure of the Seas is a mini water park. Anthem of the Seas is a mini water park, and a lot of things. Then there is a Norwegian cruise liner. Norwegian cruise liner has a go karting track this cruise I had seen myself when I was in Split,
Yeah.
docked at the port. So it's not it's totally wrong.
Hey, hi, Chinmay. Welcome back to Travel with Sabe. So, on the last episode, we discussed your Croatian Slovenia trip back last year in September or October 24. So,
Yes.
today, I guess we are traveling back from the Adriatic Sea to the North Sea near Singapore, right? So tell us more about this trip which you took back in, I guess, November 23, right? So tell us more because I guess in my acquaintances, this was the first time when any of my friend had taken a luxury cruise and it was for a 3 night, 4 days, I guess, right? So tell us more about which was this cruise and how did it come about?
Yeah. So hi, Prathamesh. Thanks once again for inviting on your channel. So today I am going to share the experience of my vacation with my wife. It was our anniversary, first anniversary occasion, and we had planned a cruise vacation on Royal Caribbean cruise. So the name of cruise is Royal Caribbean Spectrum of Seas,
Okay.
and it was from Singapore. It was a 3 nights, 4 days cruise, along with all the excursions and all the meals and everything included into the cruise.
Okay.
So yeah.
So tell me one thing. So you mentioned this was a cruise from Singapore. So did you travel exclusively to Singapore for this, or did you like uh, tour Singapore first, and then this was a part of an extension of that trip?
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't just travel for this cruise. I did Singapore as well, the mainland of Singapore,
Okay.
for almost 4 5 days,
Yeah.
and then this 3 to 4 days we had spent on the cruise. So
Oh,
basically, the cruise days were in between the holidays.
okay.
2 nights, first 2 days in Singapore, then 4 days on cruise, and then again 2 days
Okay.
in Singapore, and then we came back. So this was the total itinerary
Okay.
of us.
And what would you recommend? Which 4 days were more worthwhile? The one on the cruise or one on the land in Singapore?
Definitely, I think so. The one on cruise because
Yeah.
that's a altogether different experience.
Yeah.
Singapore, although it's a fascinating, brilliant city, no doubt about it. But being on cruise is something different because I had not been on it. I had always heard about it. Actually, I was about to travel on this or via this cruise vacation back in March 2020. It was going to be an offsite with my pan-India offsite with my company when
Yeah.
I was working back then. But March 2020, as you know, COVID had hit
Corona.
and then everything got cancelled. So that was something which
Yeah.
was remaining. And then I thought this is the best time to do it. But yeah, if I had
Very
to compare,
damaged.
then definitely cruise.
Yeah. So I was reading more about the cruise because I haven't heard, I haven't traveled or explored this cruise during any of my trips. You're the first one to mention. So this one was launched in April 2019 as a part of their overall fleet, and this is the first one of their quantum ultra class ships. So tell me, so while as layman it sounds very luxurious quantum ultra class ship, uh, what it feels like to be in that cruise, right? Because we have heard or seen in these movies like Wolf of Wall Street and all those movies wherein all those cruises are shown, right? But being on the ship, right? And again, it was your anniversary. So tell me, what was the first feeling when you landed on the cruise? What did it feel like?
So, just to give you a slight background, Quantum of
Yeah.
Seas, they have different names, different category of ships.
Yeah.
So, Royal Caribbean, what I did small research, a short research about the cruise. So, Quantum class is something whenever they launch a new ship, a
Yeah.
class, the first ship, the name of the first ship is the name of the class,
Yeah.
and then they keep on launching another 2 3 ships into that
Yeah.
class. So
Mm.
Quantum of the Seas was the first ship, and that was a Quantum class. Then came the Spectrum, and then I think so a couple of another other cruises. So that's why
Yeah.
it says Quantum of Seas is the class of that
Yeah.
ship. Now, my experience, first experience which I felt Look, it's a floating 5 star, or I can even say 7 star hotel.
Yeah.
It has everything. Okay, almost it's like a, you can say it's not just a hotel. It's like a maybe a mini island or a mini city, a very small city or a mall, maybe
Yeah.
to be precise. Yeah, I can say. Now that has everything. That has restaurants. That has indoor pools, activities, uh, rooms. I think somewhere maybe what 2,000 rooms or something,
Yes.
because it can carry some 4,000 people.
Yeah.
So around 1,500 to 2,000 rooms, different restaurants, casinos, and everything.
Yeah.
So first, when you enter, you just say, "Oh my God, this is like a mall or a building, a floating building, floating mall, floating hotel, 7 star hotel." That's the first feeling which you get.
Right. So I was just reading and I found some very astounding facts that there is a 3D cinema theater, there is a flight simulator, skydiving simulator inside, surf simulator. Then you have karaoke sessions. There are 19 dining venues on the
Yes.
ship on the cruise. Right. So this doesn't seem like a normal cruise, right? It's something which even 3 days, what you mentioned, 4 days of tour might feel less like, right? So so first question first. Taking a step back. So when did you book? So are there like rules and regulations, like you have to book somewhere 3 months back or it gets full? Or first question is that because I don't have any prior idea of is there any timeline, right? Do you get bookings on these cruises last minute, or you have to share your itinerary just like you do for your standard travels, right? So what are the prerequisites while booking, and how much time prior to the trip you booked this? And what was the estimated cost when you booked this package for the cruise, and what all it included?
Okay, Prathamesh, I had booked it almost, I think so, 4 to 5 months back.
Okay.
That was quite in advance. I think somewhere in July. Okay, and I had to, my travel dates were November. Now, these cruises have a specific travel dates. It's not like a hotel or it's not like a 5 star or 7 star hotel, which will be available, round the year. Except, of course, subject to availability, but it's available for round the year. So it's not like that. They have specific cruising dates, and you can choose from those cruising dates. Now, coming to your second question, whether you can book it, is there any specific time period which is mentioned to book this cruise? Then no, it all depends on the availability. Some cruises might be available just 10-15 days prior to their cruising dates,
Yeah.
and I think so their bookings are open till, I think, 8-10 days or 15 days. I'm
Okay.
not too very sure, but yes, I have seen some cruises which were like selling in next 15 days, and those were available 15-20 days. But then it all depends on your uh, planning and everything, because you need a visa also.
Yeah.
So you have to handle
Correct.
those things as well, all those logistic as well. So it is recommended you should book it at least like 2-3 months in advance, like we book any other international trip. That's my recommendation. Of course, there should be availability, because some cruises they get booked 4-5 months in advance as well. I
Okay.
had booked this for 5 months.
What was the
Sorry.
package? What was the package you booked, and what all it included?
And about the package, of course, it's a dynamic pricing like any
Yeah.
hotel or any travel, a flight or
Okay.
any other mode. But for me, it had cost us around 50,000 per person,
Okay.
including taxes, including the gratuities. So they have something called as gratuities. So
Okay.
whenever you go for booking, they have option of booking it along with the gratuity or
Okay.
excluding gratuity. But the gratuity has to be paid eventually. You
Okay.
have option to pay it right away when you're booking, or
Okay.
you can pay it when you actually go on the cruise.
Okay.
And gratuity is somewhere around, I think so. Somewhere $9 to $10 or $11 per person per day, US
Okay.
dollars. All the amounts are in US dollars. Okay. So for me, the cost in INR was, including gratuities, it was 50,000
Okay.
for this 3 night cruise. Now,
Okay.
to in short, to keep it in short, it includes all your meals, all your,
Full
like,
board.
from breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch, dinner, everything. Plus, they have different dining options.
Yeah.
Now, like you mentioned, there are some 15 to 16 dining avenues
Yeah.
available on the cruise. Now, out of those 15 to 16, 5 to 6 are complimentary. Okay.
Okay.
Including the main buffet, which is
Yeah.
their main buffet, which the restaurant of that restaurant where the main buffet is always placed is called Marketplace. Marketplace, Marketplac,
Mm.
Marketplace. Now, that is the name of restaurant, and that restaurant is present on all their cruises, all,
Okay.
whatever fleet they have, 30,
Okay.
40, 50 cruises,
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean. And this is the largest restaurant they have, and it is the main buffet
Okay.
where they have cuisines across the globe: Asian cuisine, European, American, African, everything. At least they will have some 2 to 3 stations for each cuisine. There was
Yes.
Indian food, and I think there were around 5 to 6 dishes at every lunch, every dinner from Indian cuisine, similar to all other cuisines as well. So this is all included into that package. Plus, there are some late dining options like pizzeria. Now the pizzeria is open till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the night. So you can, if
Okay.
you have some late night cravings, you can go and have some pizza at around 12 or 1 also in the night.
Yeah.
So this 5 to 6 dining places are included, and entry to all swimming pools. They have some 3 to 4 pools which are free of cost.
Okay.
Some 6 to 7 hot tubs, jacuzzi tubs, which are again
Okay.
included in this cost. Then some snacks counters, like there are some ice creams which are open almost throughout the day from
Okay.
12 in the afternoon till 9 in the night. Unlimited ice creams you can have, like softy ice cream, soft swirl.
Right.
You can have it throughout the day, and how many times you want. It's not that there is a count.
Yeah.
Plus, on cruise, actually, I understood what is the meaning of unlimited food. Because when any hotel says that it's unlimited buffet,
Yeah.
okay, then your entry is restricted, right?
Yeah.
When you say unlimited breakfast, you can go to the breakfast once. Here,
Yeah.
it's not the case.
Oh.
And the breakfast opens from 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, 7 to
Yeah.
10, like any other breakfast in
Yeah.
in any hotel, any five
Yeah.
star, 7 star hotel. But in 5 star, 7 star hotel, when you enter the breakfast
Correct.
area, they will note down your hotel room, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Here, if someone wants, he can go have some smoothies or something at 7 a.m. Then he can go have a run or something, because there is a jogging track, running
Right.
track, there is a
Yeah.
gym, everything on the cruise. Do some exercise, come back, again have some eggs, do some other things on the cruise, and then again come back and have some donuts or something. So the
Yeah.
entry is not
Correct.
restricted.
Correct.
So that's the
This is the
thing.
first of its kind experience, right? We don't
Exactly.
experience this regularly.
No. And also, along with the buffet room,
Yeah.
the other main restaurant which is included as a complimentary is the main dining hall.
Okay.
You can see it in the video and images. The
Yeah.
main dining hall, when I first saw, my first thought in my mind was, this is like a dining hall which we have always heard what it would be like in a 5 star or 7 star restaurant, 7 star hotel. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it is of that kind, it is of that level. Or
Yeah.
you know, uh, when we always think of a luxury cruise, we
Yeah.
always the first cruise which comes to our mind, to anyone's mind, is Titanic,
Correct. I was
because
about to say
that
the
is the
same.
one which we
Yeah.
have seen it since our
Childhood.
our childhood in the
Yeah.
movie. And the dining hall, of course, Titanic was different level, no doubt about
Yeah.
it. But that 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 kind of that experience, that images will come to your mind when you see the dining hall of this cruise. It's a huge place, a huge
Yeah.
dining hall. I think so, maybe 100 to 150 tables
Yeah.
placed in a one place. It's that big, and that too on
Yeah.
a cruise. And that is also included in your complimentary restaurants.
Yeah.
Timings are different. So if
Okay.
someone wants on same day, if someone wants to experience both the buffet as well as dining hall, they can do it. It's not
Okay.
restricted.
Okay.
It's not like that you can go to only one place for breakfast, although multiple times, but one place. It's not like that. You can go to dining hall, then come to buffet, then again go to dining hall. Of course, dining hall is like a la carte, so you will go there
Yeah.
once. But this is something unique
correct.
experience.
So it's purely value for money, right? So there is no limitation. Once you are, it's kind of investing into this experience. Once you pay,
Absolutely.
you are getting unlimited access to everything which is there accessible to the a person on this cruise. So tell me something. So this was more about you mentioned how the experience was of food, right? What are different experiences you explored or something which is first of its kind, at least for us, layman like us, first of its kind, the one which you mentioned about food, like, and something which you did not expect to be there on the cruise, right? While I have some questions around it, but I would first like you to know, say what was your experience like? Something which you felt this was a thing which anyone should experience if they are visiting and planning a cruise trip.
So there are many, but to highlight some of them, see, swimming pools and hot tubs. Okay, although they are like huge swimming pools, but that is something one can expect. But something which I found very fascinating was their theater.
Okay.
They have a huge theater, man, like a proper theater which we see, or a proper theater which we have always heard about, an English theater, which I haven't seen in my life. I haven't been to UK, but an English theater, like a proper English or American theater, they have this indoor theater, and they have some extremely good shows, some Broadway originals. Now,
Oh,
Pratham, is the cost of these Broadway original shows, if you go and whenever they are running, let's say in Mumbai also, sometimes
yeah,
they do have shows at NCPA in Mumbai, but
yeah,
the tickets will definitely cost more than 3,000 or 4,000 per person,
yeah,
right? Right away, not less than that. And those shows are included,
yeah.
like totally included, complimentary in your ticket. Only thing is that there is an app. Now, I forgot to mention one thing. There is a Royal Caribbean app which everyone should install and should have it on
Okay.
their phone.
Yeah.
Although for elder people, their like their children can help them, but it's always
Okay.
good to have that app because you
Okay.
will get the timetable schedule of all the
Right.
events right on your app, and you can book them. Now, this shows, the theater shows which I mentioned about, this Broadway originals, they have to be booked and they get full very easily.
Okay.
Every day there are some 2 to 3 shows running at different times,
Yeah.
and you have to book them. It's a first come first serve basis. There is no seat number, so even the seats you have to grab the seats, on a first come
First
first
come
serve
first.
basis. But it's like a 45 minutes, 1 hour show, and they're truly musical shows. They're truly amazing. Which otherwise you will have to pay somewhere 4, 5 thousand, 6,000
Correct.
for a ticket at the minimum. So that was
Okay. So
something which I think was a very unique thing for me,
yeah.
at least.
Yeah. And did you try any of the adventure experiences like I mentioned, any simulator or anything which you explored? What all did you explore, right? So one is the food, the cinematic experience which you mentioned. What all segments? So the whole thought is ki if I'm a tourist or if I'm a traveler who is on that cruise, what are something as per you? Ki these three things you should not miss because there are a lot of things right going on in the ship. You mentioned there is a
Correct.
jogger's track, there is a gym, there are swimming pools, there are dining menus, there are different shows going on, there are simulators, adventure parks. Now, it might get very overwhelming for any tourist who is on the ship. Uh,
Absolutely.
right? So, because one part of cruise, what we have always seen on the movies is also that you are there to relax and chill, right? So, that essence should not, one would like to relax on the cruise also, right? But if they want to see ki, while the main agenda is relaxing and enjoying life, what are the three or four things which one should definitely explore? Because it was, at least as per you, very worthwhile with your wife exploring or experiencing those whatever it is, shows or venues, different levels.
Yeah. So definitely, if I have to pick 3, 4 things, then one which I already mentioned about is the shows, the theater
Yeah,
shows,
yeah.
which they are. Another is you have to at least dine once in their main dining room. Now, the main dining room, one point to be noted, needs a booking. Okay, the
Okay.
buffet place, the marketplace, the restaurant. The name of the restaurant is Marketplace. The
Yeah.
buffet is without booking. You can go walk in and just book it.
Okay.
That's something you can go. But the main dining hall, which they call,
Yeah.
which is complimentary,
Yeah.
although complimentary has to be booked. And
Yeah.
one thing, important thing to notice, make sure you are there because if you are not, they might charge you. Okay,
Okay.
because it's like they're a little bit specific about things. If you're booking, then they're allotting you seat. That
Okay.
seat
Okay.
could have been
Understood.
given to anyone else. Okay.
Right.
Now, if you're not going, then it's like a waste. So,
Right.
but that comes that's a must thing you should do. Second thing, dining once at least in the main dining hall, preferably on the last night, because
Yeah.
on the last night in the main dining hall, their crew, they perform on a song. They dance in between the tables. So that's the
Nice.
theme which they follow across all their cruises.
Okay.
So it's a 5-10 minutes performance, but it's a very fun thing to watch.
Yeah.
So preferably do a
Yeah.
dinner in the main dining hall on the last night of your cruise. This is the second thing. Then third thing, which I did. See, I personally didn't do a lot of adventure things. There are like
Mm.
surfing. There is a surf simulator,
Yeah.
free of cost, included. But I didn't do that. Of course, there are sometimes to do this adventure activities. There are some queues. Okay, so
Right.
there's a waiting time which comes along.
Correct.
That can be it's understandable thing because after all there's a limitation and there are people like almost 4,000 5,000 people traveling on the cruise. So surf simulator is something one can do.
Yeah.
Another thing which I tried was dashing cars.
Yeah.
Now, indoor dashing car is something like you won't expect it on a cruise, right?
Yeah.
But
Very
that is something which you can do. That's a third or fourth thing. And then there are other activities as well, like rock climbing and other things, sports available. If someone wants to play sports, they can play.
good.
There is an indoor sports complex, small
Mm.
sports complex,
Nice.
which you can explore. Basketball, football, table tennis, everything. So people can spend their time there as well.
Mm.
Other fascinating thing which I found out, although it's a common thing on cruise, it's just casino. The
Yeah.
casino is worth seeing. So even if you don't want to play
Yeah.
in that casino, you can at least just go around in the casino. And then if you are someone who likes to drink, then
Yeah.
definitely you can go and purchase a drink. Because another thing which should be mentioned over here of the package, it doesn't include drink, which is
Okay.
of course it's like everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
Usually drinks are not included,
Yeah.
but they always have some schemes, discount schemes running on
Okay.
for the drinks. So for beers, it's like you get a bucket of six pints for somewhere, I think so it is somewhere around uh, uh, $30 or something,
Okay.
which you get 6 pints of beer, which is around 2,500 rupees, if I'm not wrong. And
Okay.
that is a okay rate. If you see, like if you compare it with a 5-star hotel, and the
Yeah.
rate is pretty much okay because
Yeah.
this is more than a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
So these are the experiences which people can take, and the casino is worthwhile. Just going at least and having a stroll through the tables and see how
Did you
people
play
play
casino?
the casino.
Did you play
No,
casino?
I didn't play in the casino. I was very much tempted to, but I didn't play because when I saw all the bets are being placed in dollars, I just stepped back. That was something
Yeah.
which was frightening for me. But yeah, it's totally worth going into that casino room at least. So these are the
Nice.
few experiences I think from my side I would suggest to anyone.
Okay. So something, anything you think post your trip that you wish you knew before boarding the cruise? Like maybe it would have enhanced, or you should have been aware about any things which you think anyone who is doing it for the first time, who is going on a cruise, which might enhance the, or you had missed out on something. Yeah.
So, see, Prathamesh, honestly, there are a lot of things and you can't do everything. But
Yeah.
I would suggest to someone who is planning a cruise vacation, um, you get the itinerary of things, the events and the activities on the cruise beforehand in the app, 1 or 2 days, I
Okay.
think so, if I
Okay.
remember it correctly. So
Okay.
if you want to do specific things, you go through it once, go through the itinerary, and then plan your day according to it.
Right.
Don't try to do everything. That is something
Correct.
because So
I
what
also agree.
happens is, even for us, like, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah,
When you step onto the cruise, you try, I want to do this, I want to do that. This is something, this has to do. And the
correct,
cruise is huge.
correct,
Going from one end of the cruise to the other end will take definitely 15 to 20 minutes. Okay.
correct. Agree.
You have different pathways, different lifts. There are, I think so, three lift lobbies.
Yeah,
Each lift lobby has some 8 to 10 lifts. Okay, and these lifts are at 3 points. So understanding the cruise will take you one day.
correct.
So
I agree.
if possible, someone can just go through the layout of the cruise, because you
Uh,
also get the layout of the cruise on the app.
yeah,
There is a tail end, there is a head. They have specific names. Now I don't remember names properly,
yeah,
but everything there, lot of information is there on the app. So if possible, if you can go through the app in the first before boarding the cruise, the first 2 days before
yeah.
boarding the cruise, you will get a lot of information, and then you can plan things. Also plan just 2 3 things in a day, because
Correct.
relaxing on the cruise is also altogether different fun. Now our room, they have different type of rooms.
Right.
Coming to that point, so I had booked a room with balcony. Okay, now there
Okay.
is an indoor room also which doesn't has a balcony or any opening.
Correct.
Then there is a room which has just a window, and then there is a room with balcony. Then there are
Yeah.
suites and like six
Correct.
seven categories of rooms. So I had booked, I think so, the third or fourth category
Yeah.
with balcony. Now just sitting into that balcony and just looking over the ocean
Okay.
itself is a different fun. You can
Right.
easily spend some
Look at the
3 4 5 hours, at least
Correct.
2 3 hours sitting
Yeah.
at the evening time looking at the sunset.
Yeah.
If the sky is clear, it's also an experience. So do that as well, because it's not often you will be doing it, right? Sitting in a
Correct. I agree.
balcony of a cruise
So
and
one
just
question,
glancing at the ocean.
you mentioned the plan or all the events which are there appear 2 days prior to the trip. What can you book them 2 days prior to the trip, or they just appear and you can go through it? Like you mentioned for the cinema, you mentioned you have to do a booking.
Uh,
Can you do?
No, I think so. The booking opens on the day of your
Okay.
the boarding, the cruise boarding day.
Okay. Okay.
So you can go through it. There is something like calendar they have. You can put the events in your calendar, okay,
Okay.
and then you get the view like a Google Calendar.
Yeah.
So you can plan that. But the booking, I think, as far as I remember, you can do it from the day you're going to board the cruise, even in the morning. Say the boarding time is around 11 12 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
but you can start booking it from 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. onwards on the day itself.
Okay. And just since we are mentioning that it's a huge cruise, right? You take a day to understand the layout and what is where situated on the cruise. So what was your favorite part or spot on the cruise? Apart from your maybe balcony, but while touring on the cruise, what was something throughout the 4 days you found this is where I like the most, or this is my favorite part where I maybe it might be a view, it might be some wind or the view of the sunset. What was your favorite as a couple? What was your favorite spot on the whole cruise where you enjoyed going back again and again?
So there are two parts, I would say, two or three. One was the upper deck where the
Oh,
swimming pools are. Okay, that's the most upper deck of
yeah,
the cruise, and from there you get the view of the what do you call, the chimneys of the cruise, from
yeah,
where the smoke comes out. Okay,
yeah,
like if you
yeah,
can
yeah,
imagine that part. So
yeah.
from there you get that view, and
Nice.
and a beautiful, you if you're lucky and if the skies are clear at the evening time, you can see a very beautiful picture of orange sky,
Yeah,
at the background of that those chimneys of the cruise.
yeah,
So, and you can walk through. There's a track. Okay,
yeah.
so that is one place which I will always miss, and I will like to go there again.
True.
That's one thing. Then second thing, their lobbies, man. I mean, someone might feel very stupid. What is there in lobbies? But the
Yeah,
way their lobbies and their lift lobbies are designed and everything, it's like totally out of the world.
yeah,
Of course, you will always go through lobbies, but
तुम्हें पता
that's
है
something you will miss it for next few days whenever
right.
you go through any lobby or something. But because it is so very well managed, so planned that you don't even feel that you're on a cruise. You just feel some building or something like that.
Yeah,
That's the second place, I think. And the third place is the main dining hall, which I mentioned
Yeah.
about. It's
Yeah.
like totally comparable to a seven-star dining hall, which we have always thought about or heard about. So these are the two, three places, personally for
Yeah.
for me.
What was your favorite meal since you have been mentioning primarily about the food and the dining places? What did you enjoy the most in terms of the meals which you had on the cruise? Any favorite, you or your wife? What you like the most?
So I will share one experience about it.
Yeah.
In terms of not in terms of a dish, but in terms of one experience, dining
Yeah.
experience. So we had mentioned, there are some 15, 16 restaurants, right, on the
Yeah.
cruise. Now out of them, only 5 to 6 are complimentary.
Compliment.
Rest 10 to 11 are specific restaurants,
Yeah.
themed restaurants, and those are paid restaurants. So
Yeah.
that doesn't, it's not included in your ticket,
Yeah.
in the cost which you pay, the 50,000 which I paid. Now, if you want to enhance your experience more, you can try out this maybe one dinner or lunch into this one of these restaurants. Or
Yeah.
it will come with cost, but it will be experience. So on our anniversary night, we had booked a table for us into one of their restaurant called as Wonderland.
Okay.
So this restaurant was based on a theme of Alice in Wonderland.
Nice.
Now, some of their restaurants are common across all their cruise. There
Yeah.
is one restaurant called Chopsticks. If someone
Okay.
wants to have steak and someone has liking for the steak, then Chopstick restaurant is something which is very renowned, which they have
Okay.
on most of their cruises and can go there. So we were a
Okay.
little bit confused between these two, three restaurants. Then there are Korean restaurants and everything.
Yeah.
But then one of the crew of that of the cruise told us that try Wonderland, because Wonderland is a restaurant which is only unique to this particular cruise
Okay.
spectrum of
Okay.
seas. Every cruise has one or two restaurants which are
Yeah.
very unique to that cruise. So this is only on this cruise. So we decided, okay, to go into that restaurant for our anniversary dinner. And it had a cost. It's a bit pricey because I think we paid
Say hi.
around somewhere around
Hi.
$80,
Okay.
You.
including some discount. They give you a rate
Yeah.
of $100 for
Okay.
two, but they give a discount also. So it's around $80, 75, $80 for a dinner.
Yeah.
And it's like a proper five-star, that chef special menu which you have, that kind of a.
काय बोलतात त्याला अमूज बुश काइंड ऑफ शेफ
Ha, ha,
स्पेशल.
ha.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. The light is getting available.
Amuse Blues बोलतात त्याला. So me and my wife also plan for the anniversary, especially dinners where there are amuse bouche, which is a 11 or 14 course dinner, chef
Yeah,
special, which are there.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct, exactly. And that was there. And each dish they had named with something from the Alice in Wonderland story. So there is upside
The,
down. There was some rabbit hole. Then there was a dish called as rabbit hole. Then upside down. Uh,
yeah.
those
Manali.
dishes were quite exquisite. To be very
Yeah.
honest and blunt, even we didn't understood the names of them
Yeah.
because they are from like international cuisine. And
Yeah.
honestly, I have not had that much of international cuisine, so uh, sometimes you won't even understand the name. But that experience is very unique.
I
Okay, it's
agree.
not something which you will do it often. So
Yeah.
that is something, and the whole restaurant was also themed. You can see it in the photos and the videos.
Yeah.
The chairs and everything had the Alice in Wonderland theme and everything. So it was a very unique thing. This is the most unique thing which I did, and although it is a bit expensive, but if you're spending so much, I would
Yeah.
recommend doing that thing on
Yeah.
the cruise, at least for one dinner or lunch.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Yeah. Chinmay, tell me anything specific to the maybe boarding the ship. Are there any processes to be followed, or are there any guidelines which you think one should be aware of while booking and boarding the ship?
Yes, so this is you have to do a similar web check-in like you do for any other flight, okay?
Okay.
Before you board the cruise, and the check-in window is much larger. I think check-in window starts 3 to 4 days prior to your boarding date, and then while
Okay.
doing the web check-in, you have to select the boarding slot. They have this boarding slots so that not
Okay.
all people gather in the boarding hall and
And
there is, there is no confusion. So
there'll
they
be
give
chaos.
the boarding slots. But um although if you, let's say, we had a boarding slot of around 2 p.m. 1:30 or
Okay.
2 p.m. Okay. And the boarding slots, they start from 11 a.m. I think so, 11 to 11:30 a.m. And people start booking the boarding slots. So as and when the
Yeah.
boarding slots are full, you will get the next boarding slot. So it's like a first come first serve basis. So you can book earlier boarding slot as well, 11:30. But
Okay.
to us, I think those were full, so we had to book 1:30 p.m. or 2 p.m. boarding slot. Now, one thing very great, very good about the cruise is the moment you enter on the day one, okay, at 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m., 1 p.m., your food, the buffet would already have started, and
Right.
you can directly go into that buffet room to have your lunch.
Yeah.
So it's always good to do the boarding a little bit early. Try to board at 11:30,
Yeah.
11:30. And one thing, even if your boarding time is 1:30 p.m. or 2 p.m., like it was for us,
Yeah.
I got to know that you can still go early and board the cruise. So we went early at 11:30, and our check-in and everything, and it has everything similar to like boarding a flight.
Yeah.
Security check, immigration, baggage check, everything. So you have
Right.
to complete all the processes, and all those things were done within 1 hour, and we were inside the cruise at 12:15, 12:30 p.m., 12:30, 12:45 p.m.
Okay.
And at 12:30, 12:45 p.m., your rooms are not ready. So they tell you to explore the cruise. Then there is some
Right.
security briefing, like it is there in the
Yeah.
flight and all those things. And you can directly go for to have your lunch. And your rooms, they keep it ready. The rooms are ready by 2 to 3 p.m. So till then, you get nice 1 or 2 hours. Don't miss it. So my advice would be try to board the cruise as early as possible.
Right.
Maybe the first slot at 11 a.m. This is one thing, very important thing which I would recommend everyone about the boarding
Nice.
process.
So that is very useful information because the first timers they would be highly unaware and it's like missing out on
Yes,
some value, right? Your one lunch would be covered,
exactly,
and that is some
exactly.
cost saved as a part of your overall expenses, right? So tell me something which you would never miss on this cruise. Like if you are there on the cruise, something which you would never miss. Like this is thing which I would love doing day in day out on the cruise.
To be honest, just walking through the decks, walking through the lobbies, then I mentioned like the highest deck where the swimming pool is. And another thing is just if you have a balcony room with the balcony, then just sitting on the recliner seats, because every balcony has a recliner seats. It's a good and it's a pretty big balcony. Yeah? It's not like it's a very small balcony, because whenever we think about cruise, oh shit, the rooms must be cramped, the bed must be small, or the balconies would be small. No, on the contrary, because I did this trip along with the day trip, along with the land trip of Singapore, the rooms in Singapore were much more cramped as
I
and
agree.
small as compared to the
There
rooms
would
on the
be,
cruise.
there would be.
Yes,
I just feel Singapore rooms, hotel rooms are cramped compared to any other rooms in the any hotels in the world.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. This room was huge.
yeah,
Literally, mark my words, huge. Only thing is, the cruise has the bathrooms in the cruise, washrooms in the cruise are small,
yeah,
obviously, for obvious
yeah, yeah,
reason.
yeah.
But
Correct.
the balcony, sitting in the balcony, having a cup of tea or a
Yeah,
beer, you can get,
yeah,
because you can purchase the beer at any bar, any
yeah.
counters, and if you're someone who likes to drink, and then you can carry it to your room, no
Okay.
issues. Okay, so you can sit with a pint of beer, sipping the beer in the balcony and enjoying. That thing is something I wouldn't miss, and anyone shouldn't miss it.
So tell me. I guess I already know the answer to this question, but did the cruise meet or exceed your expectations? I don't think the it goes the third in the third direction of below par expectations. So what did you feel in terms of whatever you want to understand, the value for money or the experiences or overall service on all parameters? How did you feel about it?
No, it definitely exceeded our expectations,
Yeah,
because the service and the staff also is super friendly.
yeah,
Everyone is very polite and everyone is very helpful. If you're lost, you won't be lost. First place, you won't feel lost. But if someone feels lost, because it could happen, an elderly
yeah,
person maybe or a child might feel lost because the cruise is
yeah,
huge. But if that happens, the the crew on the cruise will make sure they will do everything for you. If you
Correct.
lose any item, then too you will get it definitely. One such incident to tell you why it exceeded our expectations.
Yeah.
We forgot one handbag on the first day itself when we
Okay.
were in the buffet hall marketplace
Yeah.
hall, and forgot one handbag over there, and we left. And then we realized, oh shit, we forgot our handbag.
Yeah.
We went to some crew, and he told us go to this place on this deck. There is a place, dedicated place for lost and found items.
Oh,
So we went
nice.
there, and our bag was there. They have a system. If the crew notices a lost handbag or belonging, they wait for 15 minutes. And
Okay.
if someone doesn't fix it in next 15 minutes, that item will go to the lost and found section.
Amazing.
So that is the kind of service they have. And we had
Nice.
their bag over there. They took our signature and we got the bag. That's it.
Amazing, amazing. I think that tells you something about the crowd also, right? So it's not just about
Absolutely.
it's the overall crowd and the service, both which are there on the cruise. So, Chinmay, one thing for spending on the cruise, right? How did you go about? Is there any their own card which you have to purchase and stack it up with credits, or you can use your directly credit card or whatever currency you're carrying? How can one go about it? How did you plan for it?
So for booking the cruise, you can use any of your credit card.
Yeah,
Only thing is that credit card with low forex or zero forex would be good because you will be paying in US dollars.
yeah,
I told you the converted amount in INR, but
yeah.
you have to pay in US dollars of foreign currency. And for onboard activities, if you're purchasing anything, you're doing any activities which incurs a fee, like dining, which we did, or any other activities also. Now there is a one activity. I forgot the name of that. It's like a glass capsule. It's like attached to kind of you can imagine like a crane structure,
Yeah.
and the cabin, the capsule is attached at the end of the crane, where the hooks are placed usually in a crane, and that takes you above, and you get a view of entire cruise and entire ocean. So that's a paid activity. Somewhere I think so 20-30 dollars or something like that,
Yeah.
if I remember it correctly. Now, if you have to do all those sort of activities, you can link your credit card to your account in the
The app.
app.
Okay.
Yes, or you can clear it, at the time of checkout, one day before the checkout.
Okay. Okay.
So whenever they give you the access card, the room key card,
Okay.
that card acts like everything for you.
Okay.
Now
Understood.
that card can be topped up with the amount dollars. Now
Yeah.
that you can do it online through the app by adding a credit card, or if the credit some many times the credit card, the linkage of the credit card doesn't operate very
Okay.
efficiently. Although always one thing which I forgot to mention, you have to link some credit card when you are doing the web check-in also mandatorily. But sometimes the link doesn't work properly, so they have the service desk, they have the help desk inside the cruise, where you can go physically and do all those things.
Thanks, Chinmay, for sharing the overall experience which you mentioned, right? So the whole point was because a lot of people think about cruise, but the first notion which comes to mind is it would be too expensive. If it is an expensive, they don't know what all is included and what is the value for money, right? Even if you just listen, it is 50,000 for 3 nights. The first thought is, it means 15 to 16K per night.
Yes,
They don't look at the inclusions. They don't look at what the experience is or what the value for money is. What all experiences which
correct.
first hand, like you mentioned, the cinema experience, which would anyways pay around 3-4K outside, right? So I think that awareness is still not there. At least when I look around, people are not aware. We just think of it as it's an expensive uh, fascination which you can indulge in. But this helped me a lot in understanding what experience lies on the cruise. And surely I would plan someday, and I might reach out to you for any inputs on the same. Thanks for your time. Pleasure having you again, and hope we see again to cover you for further future trips around the globe. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks, Prathamesh. I would recommend everyone to do a cruise vacation.
Yeah.
It's totally worth. Thanks for inviting me on your channel. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching the video till the end. If you have liked the video, please subscribe to our channel. This will encourage us to bring more such content to you for different countries across the globe and more destinations across India itself. All the tour packages which were described in the video, the links are shared in the description. The complete trip itinerary is also shared as a part of the video description. Hope it helps you plan your next trip to your dream destination. Thank you and have a great day.